What's up everybody, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel with another video on Eversoul. In this video, we're going to be asking the question, should you summon for Lizelotte, who's going to be the next upcoming brand new character coming to Eversoul. I believe she's going to be coming out around April 6th, according to the Q2 2023 roadmap for the events. And she's also going to be the second character that's going to be of the Demon faction. Currently, we only have one, which is Ingame, but now we have two with Lizelotte coming, and she was teased a little bit in the spring event story. We did get to see her, so we kind of had an inkling, okay, this is probably going to be a character that we're going to be seeing soon. But before we talk about Lizelotte, if you guys enjoy what you see on this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, that way you guys are not missing out on future uploads. Leave a like on this video and comment down below what your plans are for this upcoming character, our second Demon faction character in Eversoul. And also, don't forget to check out the Pridewind website for all of your Eversoul information needs. They got everything that you need there, information about all the characters, their artifacts, tier lists, love story guides, you name it, it's all there. Be sure to check it out and show that website a ton of love because it's super useful. Anyway, should you be summoning for Lizelotte? So I'm going to have some screenshots appearing here of the translations of what her skills and her subs and her passive all bring to the table. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind that all of these numbers or these effects can potentially change once this character is released, and even after this character is released. We've seen this happen to Erika, we've seen this happen to Aki, where they tweaked the character from what we thought they were going to be doing. So all of these effects and numbers, take them with a grain of salt until we actually see the character live on Eversoul. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at first her ultimate skill, which allows her to deal damage to the nearest enemy, so it's single target, and she deals additional damage starting at 100% at base for each buff that she has while casting the skill. And as you can see, the damage just goes higher with the upgrades, and at the final upgrade, if there are no enemies within 3 meters of the target, the skill automatically becomes a critical hit. So this single target skill has the potential to have a very high damage ceiling depending on the buffs that you have on Lizelotte. And also, if you have that final upgrade at level 201, it's a guaranteed critical hit as long as there's no enemies within 3 meters of that target. So like, this is also like a great way to finish off an enemy target. Let's say like there's like one enemy target or two left and there's nobody around it. Well, you're going to be dealing a critical hit, you know, if you press this particular ultimate skill. Her main skill is not really that different. It just deals less damage than the ultimate. It functions the exact same way, deals damage to the nearest enemy, and you also get an attack bonus for each buff. And at the final upgrade, again, if there are no enemies within 3 meters of the target, it automatically becomes a critical hit. So again, potential for a very high damage ceiling, but you need to have as many buffs as possible when you're going to be using these particular skills, which means that this is a character that you might want to consider playing manually, because this ultimate and this main skill require timing. Like, if you allow this to go off auto and Lizelotte has like 1 or 2 buffs, you're not going to be really seeing a lot of reward from that. So that's why I recommend personally playing her manually if you're going to be relying on these two different skills. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at her sub skills and her passive. Her first one deals damage on an enemy within 3.5 meters wide and 9 meters long, and also dispels 2 buffs on the target. So she has a little bit of utility in being able to get rid of enemy buffs. At the first upgrade, she not only gets more damage, but she also gets a recovery to her mana. And then at the final upgrade, she gets more damage, and she now removes 3 buffs instead. So her sub skill can definitely have a lot of utility, removing buffs from enemy targets, which can be super useful, especially, let's say, like, you have like a heavily defensive team coming at you that's putting up a ton of buffs. Well, Lizelotte can remove up to 3 depending on the upgrade of her sub skill on that one target and help you take that target down easier. Now her sub skill is very interesting. So what it does is it deals damage to the nearest enemy, and if the target is buffed with any type of physical mitigation or magical defense mitigation, it's going to instead reduce that stat by 28% at base for 14 seconds, and as you can see, it goes all the way to a negative 36% reduction at the final upgrade, and it cannot be dispelled. So more than likely, at the start of the battle, usually the nearest enemy is probably going to be a tank, and assuming that this character moves forward to the front line and to deal damage, The enemy tank will probably be the closest enemy that you're going to be targeting with the sub-skill 2, and so you're going to have the ability to pretty much cancel out their mitigation and reduce their stats, which I think is pretty cool and it's pretty unique. So very, very cool sub-skill 2. And finally, her passive, what it pretty much does is it increases the effectiveness of buffs that Lizelotte has in battle. At base, it's at 60%, which is already huge, and then at the final upgrade, it's at 100%. So just imagine having like attack up, defense up, you know, crit damage, accuracy, speed, all on Lizelotte, and those are going to be amplified to a greater magnitude. So she has the potential to be very, very powerful with this particular passive. Finally, her artifact is called Gungnir. What it does is it increases her accuracy, her crit damage, and also gives her mana regen, which is pretty useful. At Legendary Plus, she gets more mana regen, and then finally at the last upgrade, her sub-skill is now going to have the ability to reduce enemy mana. So kind of like what Honglen does, you know, she reduces mana with her skills except for his AoE. Personally, I think when it comes to her artifact, you could probably just get away having this at Epic, because you already get the increase in accuracy, you get the crit damage increase, and you also get the mana regen. And as you can see at Legendary Plus, it kind of does the same thing, just with a greater effect. But think about it. Do you really want to invest and pull, what is it, like 400 pieces of the artifact? Actually, it's more than that, because 400 is what you need to get to Legendary Plus. Factoring in what you need to get to Legendary and Epic Plus, is it really worth it? I think she's going to be fine perfectly with just her artifact at base. She's not going to be one of those that's really reliant on it. For example, Aki, our recent new character, excuse me, her artifact, you probably want that at Legendary Plus because it also gives her like the speed boost and everything. With Lizelotte, I feel like hers is fine just at the base Epic. So after all this information, what are my thoughts on Lizelotte? Should you be subbing for this character? I see her as a secondary DPS. I don't see her as a main DPS. One, because she's not nearly as plug-and-play as some of our other single-target DPS that we've seen. Her damage output, while there is a potential for it to be very, very high, we already have a single-target damage dealer that we just literally got in Aki, who her damage ceiling, in my opinion, is a lot higher than Lizelotte's, but Lizelotte's has a potential to be really, really strong. One of the things, though, that I'm a little disappointed by is that we're getting another single-target damage dealer when we just got another one. I was hoping that maybe she would have some sort of AoE, but hey, I still think her kit is really cool. I think, personally, she is a secondary DPS with utility, and you have to definitely build around her. You want characters with her that provide buffs. So, right off the bat, I can think of 3 characters. Talia, Vivian, and Prim. Prim gives the attack boost, Vivian gives the speed, Talia does her thing with her supportive capabilities. So that's already some buffs there that you could capitalize on with Lizelotte. So then that way, if you're pressing her main skill and ultimate skill, you'll be definitely benefiting more from it. As far as her ultimate skill goes, guys, I personally wouldn't rely on it nearly as much as like your main DPS. You can if you really want to, but remember, it needs timing. It's not one of those ultimates where you're like, I'm just going to mash it out and hope it does something. I mean, it'll do something, but if you don't have a good amount of buffs on Lizelotte, you're not really going to be benefiting from what it can really, really do. And it is screaming for the level 201 upgrade, because that level 201 upgrade of potentially dealing a critical hit if there's no enemies around that target, that's huge. It could potentially, be game breaking and could win you the match if you're able to get that upgrade on it. So those are my thoughts on Lizelotte. I think she's a strong character. I personally don't think she's going to be any kind of meta-defining unit or anything like that. But, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. If you think I'm wrong, you're like, no, 40, I think she's going to be fantastic. Then let me know. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to have, constructive discussion on what you guys think about this character and what she's potentially bringing to the table. I say potentially because, like I said earlier in the video, all of this could potentially change. These values, these effects, they could change them right as the character comes out and even after the character comes out. So take it with a grain of salt, but it looks like this is what Lizelotte is going to be doing. Secondary DPS, in my opinion, with some utility. Definitely needs to be have a team built around her, and her main skill and ultimate skill benefit more from manual play, not from auto play, because you want to capitalize on the amount of buff she has before you actually utilize those skills. So My plans are, I'm probably going to try to pull for her. I don't have too many resources on my account right now, but at least I want one copy for collection. And to those of you that have bigger plans for this character, let me know down in the comment section below if you guys are going to get her all the way up to Origin. Are you excited for her? We're finally getting a second demon character, guys, so at least that's exciting that we're seeing more of the demon faction, and hopefully we're going to see some more angel faction here. But anyways, this is going to go ahead and conclude the video. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video on my channel, and stay blessed, everybody.